me. Send me calling. Ready for war like Korea. Headlining shows out in Poland.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Prescott on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So after the INT, here's Wentz. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Wentz. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Everybody count. Everybody count.
Second down, Prescott. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Great.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Great 15. Great 15. Here we go. Waiting.
From midfield, here's Wentz. He's going to walk one deep left side. This is caught inside the 15. And that one results in 35 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run with Clement. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On the carry, here's Clement. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Wentz now to throw. Buying time to his left. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. This Cowboy defense trying to hold him out of the end zone. They've run it to 3rd and goal.
Here we go. Waiting. Listen.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. In for the score. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. The touchdown giving them the first quarter lead. Remember, they lost a rough game 2 weeks ago. Then they had to sit through the open week, but a good start here.
And just think about everyone around them, everyone around the organization. When you lose headed into that open week, everyone's cringing because you don't have a chance to get on the horse and ride it again for at least 2 weeks. Well, they were able to take that time, use it constructively, and now they're back in form.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking deep downfield. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this 1st quarter. Picked off by Ronald Darby.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Wentz going to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here we go. Waiting.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Thomas has got it. Complete. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Throw left side, complete. It's Grant. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Prescott. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Von Bell. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw, a free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. On third down, it's Prescott. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Moreno. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. A first down throw for Prescott. Brought in over the middle by Graham. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Prescott looks to throw on first. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Prescott now. He's going to fire one deep. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Flush to his right. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. This is Clement. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Come on.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. And give him a gain of 37. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Working from the gun, Wentz. Now the ball comes loose, and the Cowboys have recovered. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Following the interception, here's Prescott. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for 4th down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. And now here come the Cowboys. And I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. Over the middle, complete. That's Grant. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
47.
1st down, Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Here's Ajayi. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Here we go. 120.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. It's complete left side to Aguilar. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Wentz now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. The run, it's Clement, and they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. On second down, here's Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. James White, the man he was looking for out of the backfield. And that takes us from second to third down.
Hang in there now. 81, 81. Black.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. And Elliott puts this one through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. To throw is Wentz. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Now the try here for the point after. And oh, it's blocked. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
At least 5-7. At least 5-7. Hey. 4 down.
Throwing now is Wentz. Ertz has it left side. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Here we go. 120! What's that?
Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The Eagles eager to see what Clement can do in his sophomore year. He's back there again on 1st and 10. Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
They'll run again with Clement. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. It was Kendall Donnerson who made the stop on the defensive side.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
That one goes for 24 yards. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because it's caught inside the 25. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big play here for the Cowboys. 51 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the red zone now, Prescott. And his pass incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
On second down, Elliott. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And his kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Watch, Brad.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Lion. Here we go. 20.
They run with Ajayi. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Oh, there's no doubt that this is a huge defensive series right here. They've got to hold them to a field goal attempt or less. Otherwise, this game just might be out of reach. Let's see if they can hunker down and get it done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. Third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A second down throw for Prescott. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Third and long for Prescott. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Desperation time. Prescott on fourth. Eluding the pressure right. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. But they can thank their defense for another stop. And now look at the score, where they've got the football. They're looking pretty good.
They're looking excellent because now you're thinking to yourself, let's just take some time off the clock. Work it down. And, of course, you put another touchdown on the board, you can pretty much say bye-bye to this one.
Play calling here can be a little bit more conservative because of the lead.
A little bit more conservative. The biggest thing, everyone understands how to get the ball downfield and how to stay in bounds and make sure the clock keeps running.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. The Eagles on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Grade 15. Grade 15.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Eagles add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down
caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey,
and now here's another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Game in hand, the offense takes the knee. And on third down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreakers we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Prescott now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here's Prescott. And this will be Incomplete. 1 second left to go. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles are likely going to win it. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.